Hello there, my name is Enoch. Taking care of your health should be a top priority. Looking at the various engagements that we have today, it is so easy to forget about our health, mental well-being. That is why we introduce to you the Healthy You Talk Show, a brand new show that is going to address matters concerning your health, nutrition, stress management, mental health, name it. We bring to you a wide range of experts who are going to be touching pertinent issues concerning our health. Tune in every Tuesday at 10 a.m. live on Faith Today TV.
Mountain Moving Faith. This is my latest book. And if you want to learn how you can move mountains, life has many mountains. While this journey, you will encounter mountains and you wonder, how can I move mountains? This is a book to read. And it took me time to research, to pray, and to wait on God and look at the scriptures and what Jesus talked about moving mountains. And this book is quite a story, it's quite an inspiration. It is quite something that will change your life. So order your copy today. We can send it to you wherever you are in this country. We will be able to send this book to you on Mountain Moving Faith. Call that number or send a message and our team will be able to ship it to you wherever you are. There's a book to read. You can also buy for your friend, for a family as a gift. And I have no doubt they will thank you and that they will be always thankful for what you have done for them. So God bless you as you read this book, Mountain Moving Faith.
Welcome once again to Kingdom Business Network. This is your program that gives you business tips. We are here because of you to discuss matters business. We really value you. We value your continued watching of our programs, and we don't take it for granted. We want you to get the best tips from the best experts that we can be able to lay our hands on. And we have been discussing for the last 1 week, we've been discussing on the matters customer service. We've been discussing the power of customer service, redefining excellence in the marketplace today. And to help us unpack that is Pastor Geoffrey Kilonzo. He's a master trainer, and we had a wonderful discussion last week, and he's going to pick up from where we left. Sure. Welcome, Pastor Kilonzo. You can greet the viewers.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure, and thank you, Doc, for always having me here. It's not a right. It takes us a privilege to be here. And to our viewers, we truly value you. We don't do this for ending news, but we know that a life impacted is a life transformed, and it's many lives that will benefit. We ask that you tune in and follow this, please. And if you love someone that should be hearing this, you can also share and make sure that you inform them even about the show. And can I also say they should subscribe?
Yes.
Like, subscribe,
and share.
And click on the bell.
Yes.
So that when next there's a show, you'll be the first one to know.
And also, just to add on what you've just said, remember to send us the questions. He will be picking the questions that you're going to send to us. Great. I know last week we were not able to answer all the questions, and we'll be picking some of the questions from last week And today you also want fresh questions on customer service. We'll be handling the areas of tackling customer complaints and dealing with difficult customers specifically today. But if you have questions as a follow-up from last week, you are highly welcome. And on my immediate left is my co-host, Victoriana Alwang'a. She's a financial advisor. You can introduce yourself to the viewer once again.
Thank you so much, Doc. To our viewers, welcome back. We love to have you here, and I'm so excited to be back on the show. It is a privilege, and I look forward to getting more insights and getting equipped on how to get an impact in excellent customer service and how to better service our customers. So stay tuned, get to learn more so that you can be able to grow your business even as you interact with your customers. Thank you.
Welcome, Victoriana. Now, last week we talked about customer service. We started our journey.
Sure.
For the sake of the person who was not here last week, who didn't listen to this program, maybe you can start by defining what excellent customer service is.
Thank you. Thank you. And Doc is Dr. Mungai.
Yes.
These short names may not come out clear. When we talk about customer service, excellent customer service, we said anything that you do that brings out customer satisfaction is excellent customer service. And our businesses exist because of the customers. Customers are not an interruption. They are not visitors to our business. Customers are the reason we do the business. And the moment you understand the customer is a very valuable person, then you'll treat that customer with a lot of care and concern. Sometimes we lose customers and we don't seem to care. We think another customer will just walk in. We said last week that a customer dissatisfied will talk to 20. A happy customer will only talk to 6. And we also said you don't have to think about onboarding new customers all the time. You can work on retaining the ones you have. And it costs less to retain than it costs to onboard new customers. So let's work towards retention more than just onboarding. And onboarding is okay. The other thing we talked about is credibility. We said be credible. The way customers perceive you is based on either what you have said or where they are coming from. They have built an experience, they have built some expectations because of your marketing tools or the marketing campaign that you've done, but also because of where they're coming from. Maybe they had an experience of a restaurant that this was served last time, and coming to you, they want to change the experience. So they have an expectation to get a better service, or you have promised, because we normally say your value proposition must always be delivered. Make sure that you're delivering the value you promised. What you can deliver, don't promise. If you say customers are going to walk out happy, make sure they do. Sometimes we use this language to entice, but make sure you deliver exactly what you promised, because that promise remains in the customer's mind. And as they walk out of your business, they'll always ask, did I experience what I was promised? Did I walk out with a better experience? So we should always work towards over-delivering and not under-delivering. You'd rather under-promise and over-deliver than over-promise and under-deliver. And Victoriana says something, customers will always remember how you made them feel, not just what you said. So the experience is the entire process. How did I feel? We said also, customer satisfaction can be an immediate thing or an afterthought. I may not be satisfied immediately, but after realizing how you made me feel, after connecting past experiences and what you've done to me, that satisfaction may come after. So that is very important, and don't ever give up, even getting some feedback from customers. How did you feel? I give an example of my experience in Nigeria, how the hotel made me feel, because that remains in me. That's quite a number of years back. But it remains in my mind because of how they made me feel. So make sure you over-deliver your promise. It's very important. And finally, we talked about the perception. Perception is the picture you paint. That perception you've painted, if you cannot deliver, you may need to start working on that. So perception, expectation, experience, all that should add up to satisfaction. And I think from there, we can now start discussing, because if a customer is not satisfied, then you create a challenge. And that challenge is what we need to discuss today.
And we also said you have to not only meet the customer expectations, but you have to exceed. Because meeting, you're just doing the bare minimum. That's what is expected. And that's why I think some people talk about delighting a customer. A delighted customer is one whose expectations have been exceeded. So you're just like, wow. You give them that wow moment.
That wow moment.
So we can move to the questions today, and we would want to ask you about the common challenges which are faced by customer service teams. What are they?
Thank you. And I will start with the first statement here. It says, we are continually faced by great opportunities, brilliantly disguised as insoluble problems or insolvable problems. Sometimes when we face challenges, we may think they are not solvable, or we are facing a very difficult time. But those challenges can be turned to opportunities. And so even when you're dealing with either difficult customers or we have a difficult situation, we can turn it into opportunity. But what you've asked me, Doc, I think it's good to go back to something we mentioned, just as a recap, on the things that customers expect, the basic needs of a customer. I think we mentioned this last time. I'm just trying to pick them when we mentioned, because we can draw our discussion from there. Number one, we said every customer requires service. Just deliver the service. That is important. Number two, we said price. And we said price is basically what you are promised, connecting the price or the value and the price. I've paid for a cup of tea. Does the amount I've paid match the value I get? And that's on the bare minimum. Then we talked about our follow-up. Don't just sell and allow the customer go. So these are just a few. Now let's go to the problem or the challenges customer service people face. Number one is when we do not give attention to customers. Inattention is a challenge, and it's actually a problem we create. Barriers to customer service is number one, inattention. Number two, and inattention here is, and I give the example of M-Pesa ladies who just sit, and these are comedy. I'm not sure that maybe they have changed. This comedian.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Yeah, and it's comedy anyway.
Yeah, it's
comedy can be extreme, but it's a big lesson. Yeah, when you walk in and they're chewing and they just assume. You talk to them, and by the way, it's not just M-Pesa shops, because that was a comedy. But even you go to the banks, you can go to hotels, you can go to any business, and someone is just seated, looking at you like
you walk in and everybody is seated just looking at you, and you're wondering whether you're in the right place.
Yeah, you even sit. How do you feel when you go to a restaurant? You sit and no one asks you what you want. Yeah, and time goes until you call someone. By the time you're sitting, someone must have, identified as a customer, and you did not come to waste time. You came to be served. So inattention is one thing that will kill your business, and its biggest barrier to customer service. Number two is lack of customer data. We said that you need to know who do we serve, where are they, who are they, how much do they spend in a day. When you know your customer value, the value of each customer. You can even value their consumption within a month and say, Dr. Mungai gives us X amount of money every month. You can rate all the customer and say, here we have a very serious customer. You can even start customizing service to such customers. So you need data to know who do we serve, when do they come from, what segment is it. You even customize your communication, your marketing strategy towards the people that actually buy from you. And you mentioned something last time, and you said, if they're in Nairobi, would you now want to either focus on Nakuru and market in Nakuru so you can onboard other markets? So you don't keep on telling people, the one that have heard your message, and you keep on preaching to them. You need to change the message. Bureaucracy. If there must be a process for a problem to be solved, and today we will touch on that after this. If a customer has a complaint and they can't get a solution immediately, they have to talk to this one has to talk to that, they will give up. They will not come back tomorrow. Customers want immediate solutions. both when they're buying and when they're being followed up or when there's a challenge. So don't create bureaucracy. Have a quick way to solve customers' issues.
So empower the frontline staff to handle complaints.
Exactly. And don't centralize power. Decentralize. Because you may not be there and customers may. You may travel or go for a holiday. But if your customer service officer can't make a simple decision, you are doing a disservice to yourself. So it's important. Number 3 we said, number 4 we said, untrained customer service officers. You can have people just filling up space, and you don't train them. We have discussed culture here. Whatever you want, whatever you believe should be done, train your workers to do that, and inculcate that culture of good customer service to your employees. Don't keep on complaining to them, oh, you're not delivering, you're not. Would you pause and ask, is it that I've not trained these people that they're not delivering? Because if you think they're not delivering, then you are also not delivering. As a business person, you must spend time, work with them. And we normally say leadership is you passing you're duplicating yourself in your people. I must be seen. Geoffrey must be seen in my employees. Small Geoffreys, when they speak, someone should hear me in them. When they train, because I do training, when they train, I should be heard in them. If someone listens to my co-trainer and listens to me and there's a difference, I'm not doing my job. So that is another problem. And finally, inconsistent access to support. If your business cannot be located after someone buys, the reason why people have had issues with e-commerce is because of problem solving. You buy something and it was delivery. The moment you want something fixed, you don't even know who to talk to. And that becomes a problem. So can you create a system in your business where problem solving is easy to access? So that doc is just a recap. So quickly. So
still on that recap before we move on.
Yeah.
You talked about attention to customers, such that when a customer walks into your premise, into your business premise, somebody needs to attend to him.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering, is there anything like too much attention to a customer? And I'll give you an example. For people who have gone to buy nyama choma, might be somebody taking you for nyama choma. You go to Kamaki's or those kind of places, you have 10 people coming to attend to, rushing to you.
Yeah.
Go to a matatu also, the so-called Kamagera. There are 5 of them coming for you. You go to Soko Mujinga along the highways, and the 40 hawkers are all over your windows. Is there too much attention?
Get embarrassed.
You even don't know who to deal with. You wonder whether they are crooks. You don't know who. No.
I don't know where
How
that
do you handle
culture
that?
came from.
Yeah.
Especially the Nyamachoma places. I mean, they attack you.
It's an attack, actually.
Yeah, and you even get confused. So do I go here? Do I go there? And some are even giving you to Kuonja.
Yeah. And once you onja, you feel bound that you must buy,
You
It's like they are putting you in another prison,
Yeah, it's actually like a trap.
Yeah.
So you can have an over-attention to customer. And when you are especially engaging a customer, we need to look at personalities. There are people, when you are talking to someone, the first time you talk to a customer, you should detect their personality. There are people who are preserved. They are not outgoing. So you cannot overdo customer service. Engage a customer professionally first. Keep a safe distance so that a customer feels safe with you. Safety is very key. Even when they are seated, for example, you've come to a restaurant, you sit and you want to be served. Someone cannot come and become too much. They may talk and you feel, hold on, you're talking too much. You even go personal. You look nice, or you don't. Be careful what you tell a customer, because some may not appreciate it. If you realize they appreciate, you can say, oh, you look nice. Thank you, that's enough. Don't go into details. Oh, I love your hair. So where was it done? So where is your salonist? That's too much. Overselling is, if you're describing a product, just give enough information. don't overdo it, because again we say if you oversell, it could be you're selling something that is not good.
And I've also seen when a customer walks into your premise, I tend to be more comfortable with the seller who gives me a little bit of time to figure out what I want to do. So I expect somebody to welcome me, welcome to the shop. But then also give me time, might be to do a bit of window shopping. As opposed to, welcome, how can I help you, what do you want?
Bombarding with information.
I've not even figured out what I want. Then you're asking me what I want. So you should welcome me.
Thank you.
Give me some bit of time. Just see what I'm attracted to. Might be if it's a shoe shop. Might be I'll move from one rack to the other one. And then you'll see my attention is now captivated to baby shoes, for example. And now you can now be able to attach, this man is interested with
in this.
Then from there, give me another 5 minutes, then see whether I need help. But there are people who offer help too fast.
Yes.
They scare some people.
In fact, selling is psychological. Selling should be such psychological that you can detect. You can even read facial expressions. Maybe if you see, like, I've looked at something and I have some doubts, now you can,
exactly.
Do you need some help? Can I help you on this? And that question is very important. Can I help?
Can I?
Do you need some help? If you say, no, I'm okay, give it time. Because sometimes I feel like salespeople are under pressure
to talk too much,
to close that sale. And because of that pressure, they overdo. Another mistake people make, especially in businesses, is internal competition, where Victoriana is a salesperson, another salesperson, and they want to compete to sell to you. So it's like a competition, and you become very uncomfortable. You people are working for the same business. Why are you competing? If Victoriana has started selling to me, allow her to finish. Unless I am not happy, another person can come. But again, don't, it can be two extremes. When Victoriana has gone to attend to another customer and you realize I need help, don't again say, no, that's Victoriana's customer, because that's another extreme.
That's another problem,
And then you can't even talk to me. Oh, no, you wait for the person who started selling. I'm a customer to this business, not to an individual. So these extremes, I think, are very important to manage and just make the customer comfortable. That's the most important thing. So thank you.
You can go to the next something you're saying.
Thank you for that. So we now we're talking about how do you manage the challenges that problem solving in customer service, and that's why I said we continually have these problems, but there are actually opportunities that disguise themselves as problems, and so we need to have this mind that every problem we have with a customer is an opportunity to win that customer back and also sell to them better. Now, most individuals, most of the time, they encounter the need to solve customers. They also don't have enough information. Lack of information can lead to not solving the problem. Now, I will give 4 points on why we need to solve the problem. Number one, problem solving is a strategy. And as a business person, you need to know we actually have frequently asked questions in our websites because it can be a repeated question and then you create a strategy to solve it. Where if you're selling a particular, maybe phones, frequently asked questions can be derived from customer problems. So you need to also understand what are some of the questions customers ask most frequently. Is it in form of complaint or in form of a selling point? Then you create a strategy to solve that problem. So don't see these questions as challenges. Turn them to opportunities. And you can always preempt. By the way, and people mostly ask, that point. People always ask, how can I use this? You preempt. Because it could be a forthcoming question. Then you need to develop negotiation skills as a business person. Negotiation is sometimes when customers have challenges, you need to negotiate with them and come to an agreement. Many times, people are bombarded with challenges from customers and they lose. Actually, when a customer comes with a complaint, I want this replaced, it doesn't have to be a replacement immediately. It could be just a simple thing that needs to be solved. So every business person must have negotiation skills. Both for customers and also for employees. The other thing is recognizing the importance of follow-up. If you don't create a follow-up system, And last time, Doc, we talked about automated. I think we captured this today. Automating follow-up. You could have a message that comes automatically after a customer buys from you that says, thank you for buying from us. Please, you can rate us. That's number one. And also give us feedback on how you felt about our service. That is just a follow-up message that can lead to a reaction. Every reaction, whether good or bad, is supposed to create an opportunity for us to serve the customer better. And I am happy when people critique what we do, because it is worse if they don't and they go unhappy. When they come back and say, oh, you guys, I wish you did this better, it's an opportunity to do it better tomorrow. So customer challenges or customer service challenges should never be seen as a problem, but an opportunity to serve them better. And finally, also learning how to deal effectively with conflict. Conflict management is very critical. Sometimes, as a business person, your employee may have conflict with a customer. And we see this all the time. A customer comes back and complains about your employee. What do? Do you just throw that case out and say either fire the employee or give up the customer? No. You must know how to solve conflict as a business person. So how do we solve some of these problems? And I think
we can get to that on how to solve the problem. Victoriana, what's your reaction to this?
Yes.
I think that's very powerful. You mentioned about making the customer comfortable. And you've also mentioned about getting a response. That a response is actually an opportunity for you to offer better service, for you to offer better products to your customers. And I think that that's very powerful. And I'm also looking forward to understanding how you get to solve these problems further. Yes.
Okay. Amazing. What's your reaction?
Look, the customer should always be your ambassador. The best salesperson in your business is your customer. If your customers are not selling for you, then you're doing a bad job. I want my customers to sell for me. Referrals are best sales. And so please make your customer comfortable. Follow them up and make sure they give you the feedback. It's very important.
The customer should be your ambassador. This is where word of mouth comes in.
Yes.
And these are the people who are going to tell, you said 6 others?
6 others.
If they are satisfied.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll tell 20 if they are dissatisfied. And that's why it's very, very important actually to make the customer your ambassador. And those who are listening to us as we take a short commercial break, I just want to encourage you to tag a friend, let them come and listen to the second part of this program. And please remember to send us the questions that you have. We'll be picking quite a number of questions and answering them and trying to help you as you continue this journey of trying to make your customers satisfied, and not just satisfied, delighted in your services. So using the numbers which are on the screen, please send those questions. And also, if you're watching us on Facebook, remember to like. If you're watching us on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, and comment, and you really help us. We want to make sure that this message reaches as many people as possible. With that, stay tuned as you subscribe. Thank you.
Okay, asante. Nilikisajili kitabu ambacho kinaitwa 7 Keys to Success, ama kuna kanuni funguo 7 if you like it, ambazo zitakuletea ushindi na kufaulu maishani. Wote, wewe na mimi, tunataka kufaulu, lakini pia kuna njia ya kufaulu. Ukisoma hiki kitabu ambacho nilikiandika kwa kufanya utafiti, kwa maombi mengi, kuangalia neno la Mungu, I have no doubt ya kwamba hiki kitabu kitabadilisha maisha yako. Nilikuwa naongea na mchungaji rafiki yangu akaniambia, nilisoma hicho kitabu, sasa ninafundisha watu wangu kupitia ujuzi, maarifa, hekima ambayo nilipata kwa hiki kitabu. Kwa hivyo unaweza pia nunulia watu wengine, na akaniambia alinunulia hata viongozi wake, na wamekuwa wakisoma, wakaweka kwa library yao wanasoma. Hiki kitabu sina mashaka, nina uhakika itabadilisha maisha yako na utabarikiwa. Tuma message ama upige simu kwa hiyo namba, na naweza kuwasiliana na wewe na utapata hiki kitabu, utatumiwa, usome na ubariki pia watu wengine. Asante. Mungu akubariki unaposoma 7 Keys to Success, and you will succeed. Thank you.
Hello there, my name is Enoch. Taking care of your health should be a top priority. Looking at the various engagements that we have today, it is so easy to forget about our health, mental well-being. That is why we introduce to you the Healthy You Talk Show, a brand new show that is going to address matters concerning your health, nutrition, stress management, mental health, name it. We bring to you a wide range of experts who are going to be touching pertinent issues concerning our health. Tune in every Tuesday at 10 a.m. live on Faith Today TV.
Welcome once again to this program, Kingdom Business Network. We've been discussing about excellent customer service, and I want to assure you that this is quite an interesting topic because customer is a very important part of your business. You exist to serve customer needs, and that's how you make your money. And somebody said customer is king. Somebody also said customer is always right. Is that correct?
I don't. I think the king is okay. Always right now.
Always right now.
We, and thank God we are discussing this because customer may not always be right.
Yes.
But you can always serve that customer and make them right.
And make them right.
Yeah.
And sometimes the customer might not have all the information.
Yes.
And
yes.
It might be when you give him more information and communicate better,
yeah,
he will now see that he was wrong.
Exactly.
But we can't go telling them that they are wrong.
The approach on how you correct them matters a lot.
It matters a lot.
Yes.
So welcome once again, my dear viewer. We'll take some of the questions that you have sent to us, and we'll continue from where we left in the first session. And we are discussing about how to handle difficult customers.
Very good. So the question we start with is, why do we have challenging customers in the first place?
Yeah.
And that's important to narrate. One is they show an attitude of superiority. So customers may just be difficult or challenging because they feel superior.
Yeah.
And you see, we deal with, you remember some years back, I don't know whether it was a CJ or a senior officer who went to a mall.
A deputy CJ.
It was a deputy CJ, yes.
They don't come for you.
Please.
Yeah,
this is not
but it was in the public domain anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's very important to ask for us to discuss it in this context. And then a simple soldier said, kindly, can I search you?
Yeah.
And you see, that is customer service, because customer service is not just about the people inside. Even a guard is part of the process.
Yeah.
So I think she refused, and through the exchange, she removed the gun.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
No, she threatened. I think she threatened.
She threatened.
Yeah.
And so
Do
sometimes,
you know who I am or something like
exactly.
that? Yeah.
Actually, you will hear that so much. Do you know who I am? Do you know who you are serving? So when customers come with that language, then you have to know what to do. Number two is they are impatient.
Yeah.
Sometimes things just happen. We're in a technology era, and you may be serving. You go to supermarkets, and the system just goes slow, and you're queuing. Some customers are just impatient. From the queue, a customer will be very impatient, and shouting. So when you have an impatient customer, that can create a challenge.
Yeah.
Then they imply that they are doing you and your company a favor.
Yeah.
Customer can just come and say, oh, do you know I'm doing you a favor to be here? I can buy this elsewhere. That can be a challenging customer. Then appearing to embody the type of person that they have personal bias against.
Yeah.
a customer can come and say, I don't want to be served by you. I want to be served by another person. And you're there, you're wondering, what did I do wrong? Is it that they just don't like me, how I look? Or is it that, and these are challenges we face when you're serving customers. The other thing is they are so nice that you hate to have, you hate to give them bad news. Maybe something is not working, and the customer is just a nice customer. And like, how do I break the bad news to this customer? Maybe what you had ordered is not there, or what you had ordered has broken. That can be a challenge. So I'm just exposing some challenges we can have. Anxiety, extremely angry customers. There are customers who come with attitudes, not because of your business, but from elsewhere. Maybe from home or from the office, and they're just agitated, and they come and pour that agitation on you. That can be another challenge. Or having difficulty making decisions. We just talked about someone may come and stand at the shop and spend quite some time choosing between this and that, and it can take time. Yeah, maybe if you are serving this customer, another customer is queuing. This indecisive customer can pose a challenge. Do I leave and serve another one? Will they feel comfortable? Well, how can I handle this? And then the other one is when you just have a difficult customer in personality. And it's good to talk about personalities. There are personalities that are very difficult to deal with. We talk about the introverts, the extroverts, and the melancholics and the cholerics. Personalities can pose a challenge, especially if you are an opposite personality selling to another personality. Unless you understand the compatibility of the different personalities, it can pose a challenge when you're selling to them. So let's start with examples. And we mentioned a few last week. We just go through quickly how to deal with them. The bully. The bullies are quick to anger. They're very aggressive, highly critical, impatient, and rude. A bully will just come and want to bully you around. They're the kind of, do you know who I am? Can you see? Do you think I'm begging? You know, I have money to pay. I can buy your shop. You know, that kind of language.
Come with that attitude,
You know, that attitude. So how do you deal with a bully? Bullies don't care about your explanations. It's important to know. And mostly, you need to save yourself from explaining too much. Now, calmly and confidently apologize if you're wrong. When a bully says, this is wrong, and they shout. Bullies who scream from the top, you know, at the entrance of the door, you start shouting. So be calm.
There is a clip we are doing its round. I think it's almost turning viral currently, whereby a lady is being given a bill by a waitress, and she's there with her man, and the bill is brought to her. She's shouting and saying, "You can't bring the bill to me. Take it to him because I don't have." You know, I didn't bring myself here. You know, she runs and runs and runs. And the poor waitress is feeling so harassed.
What's my mistake?
What's my mistake? If you're not the one paying the bill, just push it to your boyfriend or your husband or whatever it is. Gently, and the story is over. But she's now shouting to the waitress.
That's a bully.
Is that a bully?
That's a bully. That's a bully. And bullies can just do this to cause drama. And maybe sometimes they have issues with the boyfriend, not you. But you know, they'll pour the anger on you. Maybe they can't do it to the boyfriend. So be calm. Be very calm when you're dealing with it. However, we normally say when you're dealing with a bully, again, don't show cowardice. Because the moment a bully realizes you're afraid, they will harass you more. So be firm but calm. Very important. That firmness is, excuse me, madam, kindly, there's a way we do things here. Allow us to attend to you in a proper manner. You remember the example you gave of that man who tell you, hold on, I'm serving another customer. Can't you see? Hold on. So that is firmness, but with calmness. You can't come and you've come late, you're harassing everybody, you want to be served first. So that is very important. Remain calm and sane. Some bullies don't deserve your service. If you realize this person is just a bully, you can actually excuse. If you are in a hurry and you can't wait for us to finish with this one, you can maybe excuse us. It's okay. Sometimes to lose one customer to save 10 is okay. So don't again get into an exchange of words. Never. Some people get into a word, it's called what? An argument. You never argue with customers. Always be the person in charge. So that's important. And then if you convert a bully, because your effort should be, how can I change this person to be on our side? We normally say a converted bully is the best person to sell for you. They will always shout about you. If you win a bully to your side, they will now be telling customers how good you are. So try as much as you can to win this person in a calm manner, in a firm manner, but make sure that they don't seem to have won. They will still want to feel I've won, but let there be a common ground. So bullies are very good ambassadors if they convert. But please be careful that they may also make you lose other customers if you're not careful. The customers there can feel, oh, these people are not good, but this person is a bully. Number 2 is the know-it-all customer. The know-it-all customer is someone who will come and want to lecture you on your business. On your business. It's your service. So how do you deal with the know-it-all customer? Number 1, respond quite well to them. And please, massage their ego. Massage their ego. Yeah. Oh, you mean you know so much about our business? Oh, that's nice. You know, massage their ego. Appreciate that they think they know. But also, make sure that you know what you know. Sell in a manner that you bring out the professionalism, the knowledge, and that's why we normally say, know your business so well that even those that says they know, you make them know that you know. That's very important. Make sure your compliments are sincere, because know-it-all customers do not want to be seen like you're painting them a picture that is not. Oh, you're so smart. No, that's that can be embarrassing. You're very smart. You're brilliant. You know, they can also tell you're now you're not being genuine. You're playing with my mind. So be genuine, be sincere, become and appreciate them. The habitual complainer. I'm not explaining who they are because we did that last time. How do you do the habitual complainer? This is someone who must complain. Whether you sold them in time, they will still say you've delayed. If you do a good job, or you're being too nice, they will complain even when you're in the right thing. How do you deal with these people? Be careful with the habitual complainers, because his attitude can exhaust you. When they complain too much, they can wear you out. They can make you too exhausted and feel like every time you see them coming, you want to run away. Yes. But you still have to serve them. First, come to terms with the fact that they have to complain. Then think of, how do I handle them, their complaints? All right, give them your attention and let them know you are listening. Active listening for habitual complainer is good. You can even give them take them aside and say, can we maybe go to the corner? Let's talk. And let others be served. That attention for habitual complainer massages their ego. But again, try and respond calmly and nicely to them, and with a smile. That appreciation, oh yeah, even when they're complaining and they're agitated, keep your smile, because the smile deflates them. And that deflating is they calm down. Actually, the way your facial expression brings them down, and they're like, why am I shouting? This person doesn't seem to have issues. They will calm down. And finally, if there are any valid complaints, if you can't deal with them, always escalate issues of habitual complainers. If you have a senior boss, you can call them and say, okay, can I refer you to my manager? That now they feel you have actually valued them by so doing. The non-boundaries customers, we talked about this person who will call at 8. They even want to become sexual they have sexual harassment. Some do, and they feel you, who are you? I'm your customer, I'm paying you. And ladies have these issues so much with men who have no boundaries. So we said, first of all, make the boundaries clear. If this person, you realize this one has no boundaries, make those boundaries clear. Then explain why the boundaries are set, and that it's not you. This is policy. It's policy, yes. It's policy here. Please, you cannot call me past this. Number 2, we are in business. Let's not mix business with other things. Then also avoid dealing out of office hours. People with their own boundaries, they will always want you to, can we meet at Java? Can we meet for a cup of coffee? If you realize their agenda is not business, you may want to avoid that. And I normally say, try and make use of the office or make use of the business premises as much as possible. Salespeople in this country and Africa have been misused so much because of not knowing this and no boundaries customer. And they find themselves in the extremes. And the pressure can also make you compromise. Let me tell anyone listening right now, compromising and going beyond the limits with a customer does not actually make you good. It messes you. It messes your character. It messes your prospects into tomorrow. And these people will talk. You know, they will go to club, they will go to another circle, and they will, that person, that lady, they will discuss you and mess you completely. Keep your boundaries, make sure that you're professional, and if you can't close that sale and someone is pushing for favors, keep it off.
Keep it off.
Keep it off. It will mess you up.
Let us take a few questions. Hello, Doc. Help me understand how to handle online customers, especially those with false negative reviews.
All right, false negative reviews, because they just have a reason to. I think I would want to think, why would they review you negatively, even after serving them well? I would want to go back and ask them, what made you dissatisfied? I would want to find out. Some people, maybe it's negative influence from other quarters. If truly we served you well and you still give us a negative review, I would want to know why did it happen. So don't give up, follow up. We have said, if you win a negative customer, you have made an ambassador. I would spend a little more time to win an enemy back than to keep a friend. They normally say, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. So anybody who is giving you negative reviews, look for them, sit with them, and know why. What they tell you may save you tomorrow, and you may also save them. So don't give up just because they're giving you negative review. Know why.
And I think just to add on that, I would say it's very, very important to actually get feedback from your customers. And especially if you are in a space whereby people can go online and write about you, you need to do the so-called social media monitoring.
Exactly.
You know where your customers would complain or they would vent or they talk about you.
Yes.
And be in touch with that. And as you're saying, follow up, get in touch with them, talk to them, and find out the reasons why.
Why?
Because sometimes they might also be genuine in a way. Or they might be seeing it in a different way. So don't rule everything out until you're 100% sure.
Exactly.
But I'm assuming that you've already investigated and you've actually found their false negative reviews. So that means you've already determined that there's something malicious about it.
Sure.
But talk to them.
And if, unless you're a competitor, or unless you're being used by a competitor, please follow up. And then we said last week, Doc, avail your customer service number in all social media platforms. Someone may just not be able to reach you. And with that, they say, come on, I've tried these guys, let me just make them up. So make sure that your customer service lines are visible and available on all platforms.
And actually, I've also seen a situation whereby when people are unable to actually vent or complain to you, or they have tried to talk to you and you're not listening, most of them, they say Nautaniona. So they go to social media.
Revenge.
You know, right, with a revenge mentality. So we can't also rule out that.
That's true.
That happens.
That's
so that's why it's very, very important for every business, offer those numbers, whereby people can conveniently talk to you when they are dissatisfied, when they are still in your premise. You know? But when that avenue is not available,
they react.
They react and they go to social media. You know?
True.
That could be the only way to get equal with you.
Very true.
Somebody is saying, I'm Joel from Zimmerman and I'm learning. Thank you. What are some of the channels I can use to get feedback, like complaints, etc.?
Amazing. We've just said, please avail. It doesn't have to be a personal number. You can just have a separate number. That is your customer service number. But please, if nowadays in the Google My Business profile, they ask you to set the time for your business operations. Set the time that you're available to pick their calls. If it's 8 to 5, make sure that you set. If you're off on Sunday, make it clear on the Google My Business profile. If you're off on during holidays, make sure. So if someone calls and they don't find you, they know it's off working hours. But also, don't switch off the phone and there's no way of knowing who called. It's either, nowadays you can see who called. If you realize someone called off office time and the phone was off, call back. Don't ignore any call. You never know why someone called. So please make sure that you have availed yourself. It could be emails. If you have a website, make sure the website has a feedback portal. We create a form where they can just quickly. The other thing is emails. You can use emails, you can avail emails for customer service. If you have a website, you can do CEO, business owner, sales team, and all that. And finally, your social media handle need constant tracking. Constant. When you wake up in the morning, before you open your business, you need to go through comments. Who said what? Before you close, like now you're doing this, this is tracking feedback. Always do that. I think that's very important.
It's very important. And also there's a question which is coming here from Maureen. Maureen is asking something which I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
She's asking, good morning, I'm tuned on Facebook. Is there a way of measuring customer service?
Yes.
And I think also when it comes to also the feedback and measuring,
yes,
they come together. Maybe you can make comment on that.
Yeah. First of all, feedback, we have said we need feedback from customers, and that is very critical. We talked about last week something about the churn rate, and I just wanted to touch on that.
We have the churn rate, you have the net promoter scores,
Let me quickly get it because of the feedback. But as we continue, one of the ways to measure customer service is retention level. So your customer retention must be clear. If you're not retaining customers, and we talked about return sales, right? If you're not getting repeat sales, repeat customers, that's number one. Number two, referrals. Okay, your referrals must tell you a customer is satisfied. Doc, I'm just trying.
Yeah, I can continue with that as you pick that. There's also the net promoter scores for those people who want to actually measure, and we talked about you can actually send a questionnaire or just a simple question on email or on phone, and maybe some of you who are dealing with banks or other establishment, they'll send you a question and ask you how likely are you to recommend our business to somebody. Just one simple question, and then they tell you rate us 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. And for you to come up with a measurement, what they do is that they say 9 to 10 are called the promoters, 1 to 6 they are called detractors, 7 and 8 are passives. So they take the percentage of the 9 and 10 people who have rated them 9 and a 10 out of 10, they take that percentage, they subtract the people who are rated them 1 to 6, and they come up with a percentage. So that's one of the ways you can actually get a number to measure your customer satisfaction levels. And this is a number that you keep on measuring, whether monthly or quarterly, and then you now can say quarter 1 it was this, quarter 2 is now moved to this number. So those are some of the ways you can do.
And customer value?
And customer value also.
Customer value. What is the value of a customer over the year or over 6 months?
The customer lifetime value.
Customer lifetime value. How much has this customer given you business? And you can rate all the customers depending on how your business looks like. But if you can measure one customer, it's okay. If you can measure a particular segment, it's still okay.
It's still okay.
Yeah. So, and I like that.
Welcome. So there's another one which a customer, a friend, or not, a viewer. Yes, we are talking about customers. You become my customer now, Doreen. Good morning. This is Doreen. I know customer service is important, but is it okay to bend the rules, business rules for a customer? Is it okay
to bend customer rules?
Business rules for a customer.
Well, how does it affect your business? How does it affect your business? And before I come to that, Doc, can I add on one of measuring? And this is on feedback. There's something called the customer satisfaction score. And customer satisfaction score can be measured based on responses. Of all the responses you got, how many are the positive responses? Divide them with the total responses, then multiply by 100, and you can see the satisfaction level.
And actually on the customer satisfaction scores, you can rate from 1 to 5.
Yes.
1 being highly dissatisfied, 5 being highly satisfied.
Yes.
Then the second one is satisfied, that is 4.
Yeah.
So the 4 and 5 divided by the total.
Exactly.
I think that's what you're talking about.
That's it.
Yeah.
Great. So now about bending rules, I wouldn't say you should bend rules. Because if you bend rules, you may have to keep bending those rules for the customer. And you see, customers share. And if they share and they realize that, oh, but you did this for the customer. Bending rules, I am trying to imagine, discounting may not be bending rules. Because discount is a way of selling. You can discount for a customer for many reasons, either because they have negotiated or because of other factors. So that's not bending rules. Bending rules could be you favor one customer over the other. And that favor can be an unfair, an unethical favor. I would say be ethical. Be ethical at any given time. Do to one customer what you do to another.
Be ethical.
Be ethical. Very critical.
Because of time, I'll ask 2 more questions and we wrap it up.
Thank you.
Hello KBN, how do you respond to someone like a customer when you don't have an answer of what they're asking? And another question from Mark, that's from Simon, another one from Mark, is it good to make decisions for the customer? 2 questions tied together. You don't have an answer, how do you respond?
How do you respond?
And you also make decisions for a customer.
You can always ask customer to give you time to get their answer. So if you don't have an answer, don't lie. Request for time. That is very important. And then, of course, if you promise, deliver. So if you say, I'll give you a call at 5, I will have gotten an answer for you. Make sure at 5 you call. If you don't have an answer, tell them why and when they can get
and
an
don't
answer.
give false information.
Don't give false information. If you have to escalate, please do. That's very important. And the other one was...
can you make a decision for a customer? You cannot be advised.
How would you make a decision? Because they'll blame you. If I'm selling a cup and the customer asks you, so which one is better than between this and this? Give enough information for them to make the decision. Don't make the decision for them.
The customer.
Because if this doesn't work, they'll come for you.
You'll be in trouble. Last question. Auto reprice tend to annoy customers. Is it good to use auto reprice? Yes or no?
How to?
Auto reprice. They annoy customers. Is it good to use?
No. People have different reasons why. People receive information differently. You cannot have an automated response. You need to also study the problem. If we had time, we would have gone through the conflict resolution.
Yes.
But I would say, every time you are solving a conflict, find out first of all the root cause. And root cause may not be the same to all customers. So when you have an auto reply, you may have an assumption on so many things. Find out every case is unique. So I would say spend time to understand each case and deal with each case in its unique way. That's very important.
And we are moving to an age of personalized service. So that's the direction. This mass customization of answers might not suit everybody.
That's true.
Unless it might be the auto reply at night, when then you can now pick those questions in the morning and call the customer.
Exactly.
And with that comes to the end of our program, and I'll just take a few parting shots from Victoriana and from our guest.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pastor Geoffrey and Dr. Mungai. I think what I'm getting from the discussion today is that the problems that we get in customer service are actually opportunities to serve our customers better. So we should not look at it from an interruptive perspective, but a chance and an opportunity to serve them better and to satisfy them so that we can retain them, so that we can foster lasting relationships with them. Yes.
Satisfy and also exceed the
and to exceed their expectations.
Thank you very much, Victoriana. Pastor Geoffrey, you can also talk about your business and how people can contact you.
Great. As we part, I would say there are steps to customer success. Everything you do, you must make your business have customer success. Brand awareness, that's the only thing we do so much. But customer education is very important. Customer acquisition process, you need to note that. Customer onboarding process, very important. Your loyalty plan, you need to have a customer loyalty plan. And then you need to have a value realization. How do customers realize value? You need to have a customer support system or customer support plan. We want to talk about digitization. That is when digitization comes in. Digitize your business, very important. Then customer expansion plan is part of the success. And then tracking churn rate. Make sure you know who is leaving and why. Then referrals strategy. How can you get as many referrals as possible? And finally, reward system for customers. How can you reward good customers? That is what I would wrap up with. But finally, we do trainings, and we have a training coming on 17th, which is a customer service training. Please go to my platforms, Geoffrey Kilonzo on TikTok, Geoffrey Kilonzo on Geoffrey Kilonzo Coach, _coach on Instagram, Geoffrey Kilonzo on Facebook, and ICST Enterprise Developers. That's my company. We have a website, we have platforms, and you can learn more on what we do. Get in touch with us. Go to my TikTok. There are more than 20 videos you can learn from, and I'm sure you cannot fail to get something that will help you. Thank you, Doc. It's always a pleasure being here.
Thank you once again, Pastor Geoffrey Kilonzo. You've really educated us, and it's always a pleasure having you and holding you to talk to our viewers. And viewers will bring him once again. He has a wealth of experience. He's written quite a number of books, and we need this kind of interaction. Thank you very much, Victoriana. And for our viewers, thank you very much, and may God bless you. Until next time, shalom.
Amen.